Hey guys, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today I'm going to introduce you to a new project, and this project is called Jackson's Built My Hot Rod. Now that's a bit of wordplay on the old album by Ministry called Jesus Built My Hot Rod. Us Mopar guys at the Mopar Nationals, now that's all you'd see is Ministry Jesus Built My Hot Rod t-shirts, because there was a 446 pack engine on the album cover, and that was all the rage for a little while. So we'll take a little wordplay on that and start our project. Jackson's Built My Hot Rod. What the heck is that? Let's find out. So over the time that this place has been open to the public the last year, we're all thankful to Travis for doing this for us car guys, for opening up the yard so we could come in here and pick from stuff. And Travis's friend Dave the Welder is moving into the shop here on the property. He's going to work out of there, and he's getting set up. And him and me were, or him and Nick and I were talking, and Dave said, "You know what would be really nice, because Travis has been so nice to us, if we could do something nice for him." And so Dave has decided that we're going to build him a little race car out of nothing but stuff that we found in the yard. Novel idea if you can swing it right. So how the heck are we going to do that? First we need to pick a car. So this is what we picked. This little Acadian. It's I don't know. We're having trouble reading the VIN because it's been sitting with no windshield for so long, but it's somewhere in the 68 to 70 range. Little 6-cylinder Acadian. So we started wandering around the yard, Nick and me, and we started finding parts. There's lots of these little cars in here. We found a bumper, we found a grill, we found a couple of fenders, then we found a couple more fenders, then we found a rad support, then we found this, then we found that. It's not going to be a Barrett Jackson show car. It's just going to be a little, you know, weekend play toy. So it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect body. We can cut, we can weld, we can fix stuff. So that's what we're going to do. So we decided that we're going to go with some kind of a small block engine and a power glide and a 9-inch Ford rear end. So let's see what we found. First thing here, we go over to this school bus. Find out it's 1970. It's a 1970 school bus. And there's a nice orange 350 lurking inside this thing. More than likely a 4-bolt main. That's exactly what we need. So we've got an engine. The power glide, not a problem. There's power glides all over the place in here. Up there in the jungle, there's actually a 69 or 70 Nova with a 307, and I'm pretty sure a power glide in it. It's a two-door like that, and it's literally a complete car. There's not one part missing from it. So that's going to be very, very, very valuable for our project. That's that solved. For a rear end, I'll show you what we found for a rear end. We're going to use this 9-inch. It come out of its 1960 Mercury. It's a cool one. It's a round back. It's got a WAR housing in it. It's probably a 300 gear. Not to worry. I've got a nice gear set I'm going to donate to the project. It's got a drive shaft that attaches to it and can handle a big block engine. So that'll be good. We just have to change, you know, shorten it to length and put a Chevy yoke on the front. And that's that sorted out. The one good thing about picking stuff out of an old junkyard like this, there's all kinds of stuff to pick from. So that's the drivetrain. Dave is a pretty talented guy, so we're not too worried about the actual structural condition of the car, because it's going to be back halved, right? And then for the front, there's all kinds of F body and X body subframes laying around this place. We'll find one that we think will work and put that together. It should be a great project. And we didn't know until we started talking, but we were having a real problem finding a pair of doors. But Travis said, I got a pair of Nova doors at home. So there, we got doors. Everything else is going to be everything that we can possibly find in this wrecking yard to make it as cheap as possible. The interior, we're going to go with like either a 4 or 6 point cage basic. Stock dash, stock steering column, a low back bucket seat, like super stock style, you know, like a van seat. Just 8-inch tire on the back, nothing crazy. It should be really, really cool. The one thing that does have us stumped is we're trying to find a pair of spindles for it in here. All the disc brake spindles, or at least most of them, have been pulled out of here over the years. So that's not quite the easiest thing to find. But Nick and me don't give up. Nick and me are in charge of the part scrounging in the yard. So we'll find some. There's something here. I didn't realize that GM cars, there's tall spindles and short spindles. And that car, if we at least stick with the subframe that's in it, requires apparently the short spindles. And they're only used up to, I think, 1972 on these and A bodies, right? Chevelles and stuff. So we got to scrounge around a little bit more. But you never know what you might find, eh? We already found an old set of Lakewood traction bars in a trailer, so we put those aside for it. Should be a cool little car. The car itself, I mean, it's, you know, mostly in one piece. It'll probably have Lexan windows. This back here, like I said, it's all going to be fabricated back here and just have like a tin kit put in it. So we're not really too worried about, you know, the non-existent floor. It's got a decent trunk lid on it. It's got that going for it. The Acadian too, by the way, if you're not a Canadian, Acadian was a Canadian only car like the Beaumont that was sold at Pontiac dealers, but it didn't say Pontiac anywhere on it. Although you'll see, this is the strange thing about GM Canada. I believe it has a Pontiac crest on the steering wheel. Yeah, see? But it doesn't say, the car itself doesn't say Pontiac on it anyway. I'm curious about the ownership, if you have the ownership for an Acadian. If it says Acadian, like, or if it says Pontiac Acadian. Who knows? But when I know more, you'll know more. So anyway, that's kind of the basics of this project. And we'll see how it goes. You know, we're all busy. I'm busy, Nick's busy, Dave's busy, but you know, everything's here. So as time permits, we'll get picking away at it and see how we do. So anyway, that's just a fast little introduction to our Acadian project at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. Oh, I can't wait to see this thing. I don't know what Dave's thinking of, like, for the outward appearance of it. Maybe we just make it look like this, flat black with silver graphics, you know? Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Anyway, I'd like to thank you as always for tuning into the Claremont Classic Garage. I hope you'll come back and see us soon. And until then, I'm Kevin saying so long for now.